very much. It's got to be the first time an estate agent's ever been cheered onto a stage, and probably the last. I am indeed an estate agent, just in case anyone wants to come up and ask me later. I don't know what the market's doing, and I don't know how much your fucking house is worth. Great to be here tonight. Deputy John Gollop's here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to him doing Zap later on. I recently started following him on Twitter, and not many people know this, but when the elections finished, John actually decided that he was going to stand for the Chief Minister role. So you have this kind of scenario where you had Peter Harwood standing and Jonathan at top, and Peter Harwood does his little manifesto and says, I'm standing for economic diversification, I'm standing for political reform and join up government. Le Top does a similar thing, talking about educational reform. But Gollop, because he is new age, decides to do his manifesto on Twitter. And he announces in big, bold words, I'm standing as the mental behaviour candidate. Now the thing about John, he's a very, very talented guy. And if I had my way, I would create a role for him in government. And that role would be Minister for sorting out things that Guernsey does that are particularly shit. For example, I would charge John with creating a new national anthem for Guernsey. And ladies and gentlemen, Guernsey does in fact have a national anthem. It's called Sania Cherie. And it's a very unusual national anthem for two reasons. No one knows the fucking words, and no one knows the fucking tune. And the other thing I'll get into sort out, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but whenever we get visiting dignitaries across, royalty or governors or anything like that, we always manage to give them really shit gifts. Now the Queen, at the best of time, has two facial expressions. Moderately pissed off and very pissed off. Now the last time she came over to Guernsey, we took it to another level. Fucking pissed off. And the reason being, it was the shitty gifts that we gave her. And my everlasting memory of her coming over here was her marching down to the Condor, face like fucking thunder, and in her hand she was clutching one of those shitty little Guernsey cans you buy at the kiosk near the bus terminus. A Guernsey gosh and a shanker. Now we are one of the richest nations per capita in the world. And contrast this, when the Queen recently visited Kenya, one of the poorest nations in the world. And she went to this little village with Prince Philip, and she was presented with the severed, gold-encrusted penis of a tribal chieftain. Not so great for the chieftain, because he was actually still alive. I think he got the wrong end of the stick when he heard they were looking for an organ donor. So, anyone out here been watching Guernsey FC this season? Fuck. Ross Allen's in the house. Wow, good.
Text me!
Yeah. Thank you very much. Never held a microphone before.
It's a bit technical, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going really well, man. Shouldn't even fucking turn up. Guernsey FC, what a team. And I've worked out the secret to their success. 150 years ago, the average height of a Guernseyman, 4'11". The average height of the Guernsey FC team in 2012, 4'11". Now you have to go along and see this team. It is something. I went along to the first game. And that little bit at the beginning when they all line up and they shake hands, you have these giant men from England and these little diddy green Oompa Loompa people. And they do that bit when they shake hands at the beginning, and you have these giants from England that go along the line and they're going, good luck, mate, good luck, mate, good luck, mate. You the mascot, have a nice day. Good luck, mate, good luck, mate, good luck, mate. And then the English boys all get together in a huddle and they go, they're fucking tiny, we're going to boot them off the fucking pitch. But what they don't legislate for in the other tactics of the Guernsey team, they attack in fours, the little diddy people. They're like red arrows. They come at you and they target the biggest bloke in the team, the one at the back. And they come towards him and they have this diversionary tactic. Two go to the side, one goes behind, pinches his ass, and when he turns around to look, another one comes at the front, headbutts him in the bollocks. Boom! He goes down on the floor. And it's like a scene from Gulliver's Travels. All of a sudden, thousands of fucking diddy people come along and they pin the giant down with ropes. And they've got pegs and they hammer it into the ground so he can't get up. Then they rush on and score. Anyway. When they're about 5-0 up, they bring on the substitutes. Now it's always the two same substitutes, and their names are Winchy and Dyer. Winchy and Dyer. They sound like East End gangsters. But in fact, Winchy is 2'1", and Dyer is 2'2". And because all footballers have to have shit nicknames, Dyer's nickname is Desmond. Shit joke. Anyway, with the change of personnel is a change of tactics, because Dyer and Winchy have the unique ability to run through their opponent's legs at extraordinary speed. And you see what happens is you get with a couple of the big lads, the big English lads standing at the back going, Dave, what happened, Dave? I think they brought on a substitute. Where are they? I don't know. Fucking hell, what was that? It's another one. Another 2 goals, game over. You know the thing I really like about Guernsey FC is how polite the crowd is. And I think my first experience of that, when you go to a game in England and you go and see the referee and everyone's booing, go, wanker, get off there, like that. First time I went to watch Guernsey FC, referee comes off the pitch, they're all singing, for he's a jolly good fellow. And the closest I've seen to violence was a bloke at half-time in the canteen, and he was wagging his finger at the bloke behind the counter because he'd served him a cappuccino instead of a latte. And you could go online now to the club shop, and this is how upmarket the club is. The best-selling item in the club shop is a cravat. Now, a few people asked me why I did this tonight. One word, groupies. And you can laugh, but I've seen a few women clocking me tonight, mentally undressing me, and a few guys too as well, especially this gentleman over here, which is a little bit odd, because I know him, and he's married. We'll just keep that little secret, you, me, and about 100 people. Anyway, this groupie thing, it started a couple of hours ago. I needed to go have a drink there, get a couple of liveness, and I went through to the bar, and this beautiful Latvian barmaid, she came across and said, "You are here for show." Sorry. Sorry, it wasn't Stephen Hawking. Actually, that would be cool. I'm a big fan of Stephen Hawking. What a guy that is. Nobel Prize winner, champion of disability, greatest living scientist, and to top it all, he shagged his nurse. Now the thing about him, I read an interview with him recently, I'm a big fan of his, and I read this interview with him, and they asked him, if you weren't the greatest scientist in the world, what would you want to be? And he said he wanted to be a porn star. So I imagine this scenario where he went for an audition at a porn film, and they wheel him in, and he meets the casting director, and he says, "Stephen, great to see you. So just wondering what makes you think you're the man for the part. Excuse the pun." Stephen sits there, cool as you like, unzips his fly, unleashes this big monster. Whoa, Steve! You kept that one quiet. So apart from that, what makes you think you're the man for this role? I can keep going forever. Anyway, I digress. I was talking about this girl. And this Latvian barmaid, and she'd come across to me, and she said, "You are here for show?" I said, yeah. She said, "You are a comedian? Based on tonight's performance? Highly fucking debatable. You are famous?" And I'm thinking, shit, I'm in here. Yeah, I'm famous. Well, what is your name? Rufus Hound. Cool, we make date. At that point, I'm starting to panic a little bit because there are posters of fucking Rufus Hound everywhere. And at this point now, I'm starting to panic because my wife's in the room. That drive home tonight, awkward. Now, my wife, actually, she's cool. She was telling me a story recently about a friend of hers having sex. And you know when your wife or partner tells you about a friend having sex, you think, yeah, right, that was you, wasn't it? But I knew it wasn't her because her friend said she was really enjoying it. Taxi for Austin. Anyway, this friend of hers started seeing this guy, and they are having sex, and they're going for gold, and this girl is screaming the house down. Any moment, the train is going to arrive at the station. In fact, it's like being at Clapham Junction in rush hour. Several trains are going to arrive at the fucking station. She is about to reach the point of climax. Surely there is nothing that this guy can do to stop this happening. Wrong. Just at the very point, she is screaming her tits off, and she is about to climax. He's deciding it's getting a little bit too much, and he does in a way that only a middle-aged, middle-class man could do. And he suddenly says to her, "Steady!" Steady. Fucking steady. Ladies and gentlemen, the train will no longer be arriving at the station. So I'm going to leave you with a thought tonight. It's about taking your opportunities. And you know when you think something and you want to say it, but you know, sometimes you don't do that. And there are sometimes things you always wanted to kind of say and you thought it, but you never had the bottle to do it. Well, I'll tell you a little story about me. I was at Gatwick Airport a few years ago. I was just sitting there waiting for a flight, and the tannoy came on, and the voice came over and said, "Would the Camp America representative please come to the information desk? The Camp America representative, please." Now, for the first time in my life, I knew what the fuck to do. I thought it, I knew it. I marched up to that desk, and I said, "Hello, I'm the Camp America representative. You called?" Ladies and gentlemen, you've been great. Thank you very much.